Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. So right now for me, it is actually not morning, it's afternoon or even evening, because I'm pre-recording this so that you can watch it today, even though really I'm not at home. I'm in school today, which is really exciting. I'm really happy about that. I haven't been to school in a while now, so I'm very happy, but I wanted to make sure that you still had your story time. So good morning, everybody. Today I won't be able to say good morning to specific people, but I want to say good morning to everybody, and as always, I'm sending lots of love. But I do want to say good morning to Isla, because I know that today Isla is definitely watching. So I'm just sending you lots of love. If you are watching right now, and you usually watch, maybe save this for tomorrow, because this isn't for right now. This is for our video for tomorrow, okay, for 10 o'clock tomorrow, which is now going to be 10 o'clock today. Anyway, okay, so if yesterday was Wednesday, today must be Thursday. Well done. Today is Thursday and tomorrow will be Friday. Fun Friday. And actually today is a special day, because today is St. George's Day. I've got a little bit of red on my t-shirt, I think you can see there. Red and white to celebrate St. George. So maybe today you want to, I didn't have a book about St. George or a poem, unfortunately, but maybe you want to do some research and you want to find out a little bit about St. George, okay? And maybe your task today, after we do our creative task, is to find out a little bit more about St. George, okay? And later on at 11 o'clock, Miss Lockney is going to be doing my live, and she will be reading a little poem about St. George. I might try and find one for us today. Okay, so should we go for our first story? Let's go. So the first story we're reading today is called All Aboard the Dinosaur Express. All aboard the Dinosaur Express. Off we go. Let's make sure you can see nice and clearly. We're crowding on the platform, waiting for our train. We try to catch a glimpse of it. We stretch and squeeze and strain. Look at people on the underground. A young Triceratops is first to see the cloud of steam. The Dinosaur Express is coming, everybody screams. Wow, what a colourful book. The engines like a T-Rex head, the carriages have scales. It's faster than a pterosaur, it flies along the rails. The Stegosaurus station master blows his whistle, yes, all aboard the Dinosaur Express. Like pterodactyls' wings, the doors flap open wide. Whoopee, we cry, and eagerly we run to get inside. The seats, like Allosaurus paws, are comfy as can be. I get one by the window. There's so much I want to see. The station master waves a flag and calls out, mind the door! We hear a mighty hiss, chug, chug, and then the engines roar. We're off, and just like that, our great adventure has begun. Our prehistoric world zooms by shining in the sun. A kind Ankylosaurus stops her trolley by my seat. Are you having fun, she asks. What would you like to eat? A sandwich or a sticky bun? Just ask me, and if it's yours. These are the plant eaters, and those are carnivores. Remember we talked about carnivores and plant eaters before? And who's got room for monster cake? I think that you can guess. Oh, everything tastes yummy on the Dinosaur Express. Tickets, please, the guard calls out as he comes walking through. Now someone's got a special ticket, maybe one of you. He takes mine and he clips it. I feel wobbly, I feel cold. I'm the lucky dinosaur. Check out that flash of gold. The guard and I walk through the train as all the others cheer. But what a treat have I got in store? I've simply no idea. He doesn't know what his treat's going to be. We reach the driver's cabin and it's like a dream come true. It's full of Brontosaurus buttons. What does that one do? The driver says, "Congratulations, now let me explain. Your treat is this, young dinosaur. You get to drive the train." That's so cool. My heart thumps like the engine. I'm filled with happiness. I can't believe I'm going to drive the Dinosaur Express. I take control and feel the train's great power in my hands. As with a whoosh, we shoot across the Spinosaurus sands. We swing round Meteor Corner, climb Jurassic Ridge, flash through Triassic Park, and steam across Carticius Bridge. The driver says, "Well done, my boy, and now let's have some fun. Hold on tight, we're going to start the great volcano run." The train begins to huff and puff as we climb higher and higher, up the first volcano filled with lava, fizz, and fire. We reach the top, I shout, "Let's go!" We roll like thunder. We zig round 3 more volcanoes, then this is the wonder. We loop the loop and upside down we fly across the land. We're steaming, roaring, dinosauring, racing super fast. Wow. They're going across the lava. We safely reach the other side. I blow the whistle, tweet, and all too soon it's time for me to go back to my seat. The driver lets me keep his cap. The guard gives me a flag. With all these toys and souvenirs, there's no room in my bag. We chug back to the station, and there are Mum and Dad. I tell them both about the wild adventure I've just had. I drove that mighty engine that looks like a T-Rex head, and I don't finish telling them until it's time for bed. So excited. I go to sleep and dream about the job I want to do. When I'm a grown-up dinosaur, you want to do it too. I know that if I get a chance, I'll be a great success. I'm going to be the driver of the Dinosaur Express. And that was the end. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And that was all aboard the Dinosaur Express. That was a super story, wasn't it? I really enjoyed that story. All about the dinosaurs on the Dinosaur Express. Okay, so I'm going to look up a little poem about St. George to read you now. The Legend of St. George. Long ago, a dragon waited near a city, walled and gated. Soon a princess, young and small, ventured out beyond the wall. The people of Selene the city found their hearts were full of pity, for it was this day her turn to die, and the dragon's hunger satisfy. But passing by, St. George awaited, near the city, walled and gated, and knowing what was right and good, he fought the dragon as he should. The evil beast belched blazing flame, but with his lance George took his aim. Then, with honour of the just, he killed the monster with one thrust. Oh, how the joyful people waited, in the city walled and gated, to thank this knight for his great deed, by listening as he taught his creed. And from the day the legend grew, of how St. George, so loyal and true, converted pagans in the land, and became the saint of this England. And that's by Brenda Williams. And there's a little picture of St. George. And that was a poem about St. George. Maybe you want to learn a little bit more about St. George another time. And some people might be wearing red today to represent St. George. If we were in school today, we would definitely all be wearing red. That's what we do in our school, in my school. Okay, we've got our next book for today, and our next book for today is, you might know this one, it's The Snail and the Whale. This is the tale of a tiny snail. Let's make sure you can see it. This is the tale of a snail. This is the tale of a tiny snail and a great big grey blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. As she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. The tiny snail wants to sail across the ocean or the sea. These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wriggle, stay still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a lift." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, and it says, "Lift wanted around the world." He's asking for a lift. This is the whale who came one night, when the tide was high and the stars were bright, a humpback whale immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come sail with me." He's going to take him away to sail. I haven't read this book in years. This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands, with fiery mountains and golden sands. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed, the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, where stripy fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothly grins swam round the whale and the snail on his tail. Can you see the little snail on his tail? This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of a whale. And she gazed at the sky, the sea, the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all, and she said to the whale, "I feel so small." But then came the day the whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. Oh no! They made him lose his way. And this is the whale lying beached in a bay. "Quick, off the sand, back to sea," cried the snail. "I can't move on land, I'm too big," moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, "I've got it," she cried, and started to crawl. "I must not fail," said the tiny snail. What do you think the tiny snail is going to do? I think I know. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, "Sit straight, don't talk." This is the board as black as soot, and this is the snail with the itchy foot. A snail, the teacher turns pale. "Look," says the children, "it's leaving a trail." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail, saying, "Save the whale." These are the children running from school, fetching the fireman, digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. They're going to save him. This is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting hooray, as the whale and the snail travel safely away. But back to the dock and the flock on the rock, who said, "How time's flown, and haven't you grown?" And the whale and the snail told her wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves, and shooting stars and enormous waves, and how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail. They're all climbing on his tail now. And they sang to the sea as they all set sail on the tail of the grey blue humpback whale. What a beautiful sunset. Maybe if you've got some watercolours, I wish I had watercolours. If I had watercolours, I would paint that sunset. And that was the end. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And that was The Snail and the Whale by Julia Donaldson. I hope you enjoyed that story. Did you enjoy it? And we're not going to do phonics today because today we've got our weekly creative challenge. We've got our weekly creative challenge, okay? So just going to drink some of my tea. That helps me get through my story time. And then we're going to carry on. So the next story, oh, I love this one. I even dressed up as one of the characters from this book for one World Book Day. And the next story we're going to read before we do our arts and crafts is The Day the Crayons Quit. Have you ever read this book before? It's a superb book. We'll try and get through some of the crayons. If we don't get through all of them on Friday, we can finish it. One day in class, Duncan went to take out his crayons and found a stack of letters with his name on them. Hey Duncan, it's me, Red Crayon. We need to talk. You make me work harder than any of your other crayons. All year long, I wear myself out colouring fire engines, apples, strawberries, and everything else that's red. I even work on holidays. I have to colour all the Santas at Christmas and all the hearts on Valentine's Day. I need a rest. Your very overworked friend, Red Crayon. So the letters are from the crayons. Oh, he's looking very tired. Can you see? He's overworked. Let's see who else wrote him a letter. Dear Duncan, all right, listen. I love that I'm your favourite crayon for grapes, dragons and wizard's hats, but it makes me crazy that so much of my gorgeous colour goes outside the lines. If you don't start colouring inside the lines soon, I'm going to completely lose it. Your very neat friend, Purple Crayon. He wants him to colour inside the lights. Dear Duncan, I'm tired of being called light brown or dark tan. I am beige and I am proud. I'm also tired of being second place to Mr. Brown Crayon. It's not fair that Brown gets all the bears, ponies and puppies, while the only thing I get are turkey dinners, if I'm lucky, and wheat. And let's be honest, when was the last time you saw a kid excited about drawing wheat? Your beige friend, Beige Crayon. How is he looking? He's looking quite sad. Duncan, Grey Crayon here. You're killing me. I know you love elephants and I know that elephants are grey, but that's a lot of space to colour in all by myself. And don't even get me started on your rhinos, hippos and humpback whales. If you know how tired I am after handling one of those things, such big animals. Baby penguins are grey, you know. So are tiny rocks, pebbles. How about one of those once in a while to give me a break? Your very tired friend, Grey Crayon. Whew. He's tired from colouring in all those huge animals. Dear Duncan, you colour with me, but why? Most of the time, I'm the same colour as the page you're using me on, white. If I didn't have a black outline, you wouldn't even know I was there. I'm not even in the rainbow. I'm only used to colour snow or to fill in empty space between other things. And it leaves me feeling, well, empty. We need to talk. Your empty friend, White Crayon. You can't even see the white crayon. Hi, Duncan. I hate being used to draw the outline of things. Things that are coloured in by other colours, all of which think they're brighter than me. It's not fair when you use me to draw a nice beach ball and then fill in the colours of the ball with all the other crayons. How about a black beach ball sometime? Is that too much to ask? Your friend, Black Crayon. Could you draw a black beach ball? Maybe actually. A black rainbow? Oh, not sure. Sorry, Black. Definitely lots of Miss Lopez dresses you could draw black because I love black dresses. Let's read one more. Dear Duncan, as Green Crayon, I'm writing for 2 reasons. One is to say that I like my work. Loads of crocodiles, trees, dinosaurs and frogs. I have no problem and wish to congratulate you on very successful at colouring, being very successful at colouring things green career so far. The second reason I want to write to you, my friends, is about my friends Yellow Crayon and Orange Crayon, who are no longer speaking to each other. Both crayons feel that they should be the colour of the sun. Please settle this soon because they're driving the rest of us crazy. Your happy friend, Green. Ah, so that friend wasn't upset. So how about tomorrow I read you the rest of the crayons? There's only a few more left, okay? We're going to leave it there. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And that's the day the crayons quit. They've had enough. They have quit. And they no longer want to colour anything else in. That's interesting. So let's have a look at the books we read today and see if you want to have a go at some tasks, okay? So we read All Aboard the Dinosaur Express. We read The Snail and the Whale, and we said that we might have a go at creating that beautiful sunset. What colours have they used? They've used purple, a little bit of blue, and yellow. How beautiful. We've used blue for the sea, and you can see the whale. Have a go at colouring the whale. Or see if you can write your own poem about the whale, okay? And then we've got The Day the Crayons Quit. And maybe you can have a go, if you're in year 1 or 2, at writing a letter pretending that you're one of the crayons, and maybe either you're super happy about something or you're cross or sad or empty about something. See if you can have a go at writing one of those letters. But I promised you that we would do a creative task today. So last week we read a book called Paper Dolls, okay? So I thought it would be cool if today we made some paper dolls. What do you think about that? I'm going to see if I can get the camera onto my table, but we will see how we go. Okay, so if you have got some paper, I'd like you to grab your piece of paper. We're just going to use one for now, and then if you want to make a longer chain, I'm going to show you how to make a longer chain after. So the first thing you're going to do, can you see my piece of paper, is you're going to fold your piece of paper, and for this you might need some help from an adult. You can either fold your piece of paper in half to make some small paper dolls, or you can leave it nice and big to make some bigger ones, okay? I'm going to make some smaller ones, so I'm going to fold my piece of paper in half, and then I'm going to chop along that line. I've got another way of doing it without using any scissors. Okay, so you've got your strip of paper, okay? You're then going to fold it in half. Yeah, and then you're going to fold it once more in half again. So get your parents to help you with this. So you're going to fold in half and then once more in half again. And if you can, once more in half again. Okay, then you're going to have a thin piece of paper like that, unless you're using a bigger strip of paper. I'm just going to have a look at something. Okay, then you're going to get your pen, or I've got a pen so that's easier for you to see, and you're going to, let me try and get this so that you can see. You're going to draw, so wait, let me just get my bearings. So you fold it in half. Then you fold it in half again. And then you folded it once more in half. Let's hope that that's right. I wish I could pause this to double check. If you just give me 1 minute while you get your resources ready, I'm just going to double check because I've just really confused myself actually. Sorry, give me 1 second, I'm just going to double check.
With me?
I just need to double check. My friend showed me how to make them. I just need to double check. Let's wait for a second while I just get this up. Thank you for bearing with me. Miss Lopez is a very good example of being very honest and accepting that things don't always go to plan. So I'm going to try and go with it. Right, so you have your piece of paper and you folded it in half once. Yeah? So you fold it in half. And you've pushed this edge down. You now... Okay, so, right, let's go. You have your piece of paper, you fold it in half. You're then going to fold it in half again. So I was right the first time. And then you're going to fold it in half one more time. Okay, so you end up with, at the end of your table, you've got the flappy bit, okay? Okay, then you're going to turn it so that your folded edge, not the flappy bit, so that your folded edge is here on the right side of your table, okay? And then you're going to draw half of your paper doll, okay? So you're going to get your piece of paper, so say, look, can you see that the flappy bit is here? And then you've got the folded bit here. You're going to draw along this folded bit, okay? So you're going to draw, remember, half a head, because your doll's going to be double the size of that. And then you're going to draw the arms and the legs, okay? I'll show you how. It could be bigger, to be honest. Okay, so do you know what? I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And it doesn't matter because this is the back. And then you've got your arm, then a little bit more of the body, and then the legs go into the corner. Okay, so you're going to have something that looks a little bit like that, okay? You're then going to cut around this, and hopefully, fingers crossed, Miss Lopez, it will be a paper doll. Let's see. Can you please cross your fingers for me? Maybe I should have practiced this before making this video. But you know, it's all trial and error. Remember to get an adult to help you with this cutting bit because the paper is quite thick because of the way that you folded it. So I'm hoping that their arms and legs are going to be joint. Fingers crossed. Okay, are we ready? Should we see? Has it worked? We're going to unfold it. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. The head looks a little bit funny, but we have unfolded it and it has worked. So, what you could do, right, so there's your paper. So, I'm going to show you one more time. I'm going to show you facing the This I'm going to show you like this, okay? So fold your piece of paper over. Then the folded bit goes to the flappy bit again. Then the folded bit goes to the flappy bit again. And I'm guessing that if you want your paper doll to have some hair, you can probably use the paper from another piece of paper and stick it on. That's why I said get some glue, okay? So then you can use this to decorate your paper dolls. Give them some clothes, maybe give them some hair, decorate their faces. Or if you want them to just look like that, you can colour them in. And then you've got your line of paper dolls. And every time it's 4 paper dolls in the story, isn't it? But if you want to make more, you could stick 2 pieces of paper together and you'd probably be able to make more. Or you can stick 2 chains together. So there you have it. Miss Lopez did it. A chain of paper dolls. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that you get to make your paper dolls. It's nice and easy. Scissors and any type of paper. And just some colouring pens or colouring pencils. I hope you enjoyed my video today. As always, I'm sending lots of love to all of you. Thank you for watching. Have a super rest of the day. I might do a little live in the evening just to let you know how my day went at school. I'm really looking forward to it. So hopefully at this moment, I'm watching myself at 10 o'clock. That would be weird. Anyway, sending you lots of love and lots of positive energy. Remember, stay home, stay safe, and practice gratitude every day. Remember all those things that you're grateful for. And please look after your beautiful mummies, daddies, and whoever is looking after you. Lots of love. See you tomorrow.